Hello everyone, I80386SX, and you see a whole mess of tools here today, from soldering irons to nickel strips to spot welders to multimeters, and it really looks daunting, but rest assured it's not. What we have on tap today is we're going to make a Compaq LTE Elite RTC CMOS battery. Now, I do sell these on eBay, and I'll put that link in the description if you don't have the patience for this or you can't do it for whatever reason. But this is for those people that A, they want to be taught how to fish, or B, they can't purchase the batteries for various reasons. Customs will stop you, or I can't ship to you, or I don't know, maybe my work bothers you a little bit. I don't know. I've been told a few things and not particularly happy with the eBay global shipping program and their inconsistencies, but well, if you have the means to get the parts, this gets around that problem. And of course, everything that I used here today will be, at least parts-wise, will be in the description of this video. So, soldering iron, of course, spot welder, multimeter, little clippers like this, a wire stripper may be necessary, and that leaves us with parts. We got nickel strips, and we have the shrink wrap, the 6 batteries themselves. These are 1.2 volts, 50 milliamps each, and a JST PH 2.0 connector. I believe this one measures out to be roughly 20 millimeters. You do need the wire to be a little bit longer because this is the original. This negative goes all the way in there. And good news is, if I do measure this one out, and it is shorter than what I remember, you can get away with the 15. So let's get right into it. You'll want to work in pairs of 2 to start. And electrical tape may help. Flux may help. There may be some few things that help make this easier. I have my way, you have yours. As long as it's safe and effective, it's all right. So you want to tape 2 cells together like so. Well, not like so, but those are pretty tightly put together. And if you get the nickel strips like these, you'll want to cut lengthwise and make this 2/3 of what it is, because otherwise it's just going to be too big, and you can throw that little thin strip out. You end up using 5 of them if you use the ones I got. So now you want to mark about approximately where this is going to go. Permanent marker also helps. Alright, so now you want to get your spot welder into play here. If you have the one I have, you can set it to either 2 or 3 to start. For any other spot welders, consult your owner's manual for them. And there is a possibility that you could solder these on, but I don't generally recommend it unless you're really good at your art. And even then, I'd be hesitant because soldering up batteries is a really bad idea. There we go, so that one. We attached it 6 times, so on to the other side. And a soldering mat is probably worth the investment if you're doing this a lot. Not only do you get the heat protection, granted this spot welder doesn't create much of any, but you will have a surface that doesn't slide very easily. So we got battery number 1 done, so we will move on and do the same with sets 2 and 3. I know I'm off camera doing this taping job. All right. Highly professional, right? Oh, I got one thing I gotta attend to here. All right. And I'm just cutting this nickel strip with an ordinary scissors. Straighten it out the best you can. And of course it's got to fall off. I don't spot weld batteries for a living. Ooh, okay, I bit the edge on that one. Yeah, so yeah, that's a little tip there. Make sure you're completely on the nickel strip, or otherwise you'll get a spark like that. We'll leave the blooper reel in there. And you can point and laugh at me in the comments. Little less room to work on that side, so we're gonna only do it twice. Maybe a more professional grade spot welder can do a little bit better job, but well, this one's doing the job, so I ain't worried about it. So on to battery set number 3. Hopefully I didn't make this one too short. I did just do a guess off camera just now, so anything could happen. Jeez, line it up the best you can. Jeez Louise, yeah, this one just doesn't want to cooperate. There may be better techniques. Like I said, I'm not a professional. That one almost missed the strip completely. That's why they make these things too short, I guess, so they don't tangle. And somehow, some way, I almost tangled that. There we go. So, a lot nicer, a lot less sparky when you properly press down on nickel strip and battery. So, the easy part is done. Now we get into the hard part. Well, not exactly hard part, but if you really want to be certain that your voltage is proper, these are a little bit undercharged. That is normal, especially if they've been sitting. Make sure to get more than 0 volts and get the polarity right. That would also help. Got 1.46, 1.39, 1.3 something. That's all right. I got these shipped to me at 0.7 volts, give or take, and they will need to be charged. Next, we got to get another strip here of the nickel strip. You'll need 2 more. This one's not quite as even, but I think we'll live. I just realized I left the cap off that thing, so I hope I didn't get it too far gone here. Flatten it out. Oh shoot, that was not going to be good. I almost short-circuited that thing. So now you want to get one of your sets here, like so. Make sure it's lined up near perfect, otherwise you're going to have a hard time later on. That'll work just fine, albeit not perfect. Just apply a couple just to make sure it stays on there. Alright, so now we got to do the same on the positive lead. Alright, so now we got to attach battery pack number 3. It's going to go something like that. And where's the rest of my nickel strip? There we are. That was a problematic one for some reason, so I ultimately ended up taking that offline. So, anywho, let's try this again and let's see what, make sure it doesn't move. Good start. Yep, I think I missed the... no, not really. That one just spazzed out a little bit. Alright, that's better. Yeah, that one I kind of did miss. Okay. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Alright, so in theory, that's the end of the straight. There's two more we gotta apply, I lied, of the nickel strips. And it is carrying voltage, so that's good. We have two more, and you can use, you don't have to use these with the holes in them. I do because it's easier for me to solder. Alright. And I usually just cut these in half just so they don't take too much space up. Try not to bend them like I did. And here, I found that turning this down to 2 is perfect. And very important, make sure these are straight or as straight as possible when you're doing them. There's only so much room and all that fun stuff, so I think these are a little bit thinner. They are definitely a little bit thinner. Now we got to do the same for the positive lead. And that one did not go on straight, but I think it'll be doable. Oh well. Yeah, that one's not going to be exactly straight, but it's attached. And we'll finish it off. We'll put another one on there, so at least it won't go away. And the part that requires the spot welder has concluded. So now we get to attach the batteries to this thing. So let's do that. So now we got our soldering iron here. We got our PH JST connector. And I'm going to strip a little bit more off just to make it a little bit easier. There's probably better ways to do this, but path of least resistance is king right now, so we're going to go do just that. There we go. Path resistance, so we have probably a little too much wire, but now we gotta bend this thing accordingly. This part is very tedious, but not impossible. You want to keep the battery as straight as possible. That's the end game with this one. So far, so good. There we go. It's doing okay. Not my best work, but it's getting there. And last but not least, did okay. Not great, but it did okay. So now that we got that part done, we will have to solder some wire on. And just be sure, mindful of where this is running. Try to run the wire in a straight line. If you come like this, I pretty much do that. So that way we have freedom to work with whatever we need to do. And general rule of thumb, this will be bent down, so you'll want to run your cable through or wire through or solder in a way where this can just lay flat. The idea here is we're trying to take as little space as possible. And this is a pain in the butt. Let me reposition this wire. When I actually go to solder this, I want to solder actual wire and not insulation, because that isn't going to do us any good. Alright, so now let's see what we can do here. I don't know why it's not allowing me to focus there, but we'll do our best. And this is the part where if you have a soldering pad, or that would work out really good for this right now. And this one looks like it took beautifully. So now we can bend that over and we can run this cable like so, or approximately anyway. And now you want to do the same for the positive lead. You'll want to take this in from almost the outside. Bend her over. And this may be where you want to take possibly a needle nose pliers just to clamp that thing down. Where's my needle nose? Now I'm doing this off camera again. I Don't think you need to see me playing with needle nose pliers or flailing with needle nose pliers, whatever you want to call it. There we go. At the end of the day, if it's attached, that's what counts. Not my prettiest job, but it should hold voltage at this point. There we go. That's a little bit better. And now the real question is, does it hold voltage? I tried to zoom it in to see if I could get it to focus a little bit, but it didn't do such things, so. And that's about right for what we started with, so very good. Our next step involves the heat gun. I don't know if I'll be able to do that online as my cord is entirely too short for it. If you're using 18650 heat shrink, you'll need 1.5 of these. And you'll slide your cable in like so. And if you want to tack on a small bit of electrical tape to make this a straight run, you could. It's not going to hurt anything. I'm just going to tack one right there. It's bigger than I expected, but oh well. And this part, I admit, I have not perfected yet. I think that should be about right. And then I have a half strip that we're going to slide on as well. I didn't quite attach that positive wire quite correctly, but we could work around it. I should have had it soldered where it was going the other direction, not in and out, but what are you gonna do? Alright, so there's that. And let me see if I can get my if I can get the heat gun to reach over here, then I'll be able to demonstrate that to the best of my abilities. If I get this UPS over here, then I think I can do this. Now I unplug something. Alright. Oh, it's gonna be close. So here goes nothing. You try to work from the outside in with heat guns typically. work the wires in as needed. Like I said, you try the best you can. Short spurts are always good, as batteries don't like heat. Let's see our work. Not perfect, but it is an adequate battery pack. On the old battery pack, well, I don't have it anymore, but there was fish tape at the end of the leads here. So there's one of two things you can do here to further protect your newly built battery pack is A, you could put fish tape over these, and that would work for a very long time. Or B, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a treatment of liquid electrical tape. So I'm going to go get some of that real quick, and we'll seal the end of that, and that should pretty much wrap things up afterwards. Alright, so lay down some paper towel before you do this. This stuff is very messy. And wipe off what you don't need. And all you need is just enough to cover the ends. And honestly, I'm not sure with the way the LTE Elite is laid out that you need it, but you know, if you want to be safe, that's the way to do it. There is a such thing as too much electrical tape. Boom. And that's pretty much it. So you let this stuff dry. It usually takes, I don't know, maybe a half hour, maybe. Now, if it says on the, it just has warnings on the instructions. It doesn't say anything beyond that, but waterproof and insulates and protects. There's no drying instructions on the bottle itself, but I found that maybe a half hour. This stuff, this electrical tape stuff, it's good to go. And then you can install your battery in your LTE Elite, and you will know whether you have too much time on your hands or not. No more, to do time travel, you'll need to go find a DeLorean. Okay, that was a very poor attempt at a joke, but, well, that's why I'm not in comedy, so. So let this thing dry, and we'll try it before I end this video. We'll give this thing a go in my LTE Elite and see if it actually charges. Alright, so now we're standing in front of my LTE Elite. Brand new battery intact. This one probably isn't going to lose its time because I did have a replacement. I took one of the original 8 that I made and put it in this computer. I don't remember there being a mechanical drive in this thing, but you don't need to boot it up along to test to see if the thing is taking a charge. Although to get the full effect, the full beneficiary of the RTC battery, you will want to plug this in for at least an hour. Some things to note, this is also true in the 5000 series, if you leave the machine with no power for several days, this battery will deplete rather quickly, because this also does control hibernation, which does take a lot of power. And, oh, that's a random one. Okay. It is July 30th, but the time is right, so I don't know what that's about, but whatever. I'm not sure what this drive is, but okay. Good to know I have another Windows 95 drive at my disposal. And we'll pause this real quick and let's see if we should jump somewhere in the neighborhood of 8-something volts. Alright, my makeshift what you call it, tripod is about to fall over here, so we'll try to make this quick. And I will need to do a little bit more with the heat gun because the seam where I had it broke off, so no big deal. Actually, you know what? Mine came with these ends, so let's do that. That'll make it a little bit easier to measure. And we should be getting somewhere in the neighborhood of 8-something. And survey says it doesn't work if you don't touch the leads. Now this is going to be very interesting to get a reading off of. I don't know why I have so much bear of a time doing this. Alright, we're going to try for a different tactic. I'll be right back. Alright, let's see if that makes a difference. It's increasing. We're at 7.4 something. It's supposed to be 7.2, so this is good. It is raising up, so yeah, I think this battery's good. So I wasn't sure if you can see that. I don't know what, my camera's being weird. So yeah, it's going up, so that's good. So at the end of the day, this battery should be good to go outside of a little bit of a heat shrink work I gotta do on it yet. But we'll wrap this up right now. So a few things to keep in mind on both this series computer and the 5000 series computers. The batteries will deplete rather quickly if left sitting without a power source. So general rule of thumb, if your primary battery isn't taking a charge of any kind at all, this may not be a worthwhile thing for you to do, especially on the 5000 series, because that battery will deplete quickly. If you're looking to get rid of a time bomb such as this one, that's probably not a bad idea. If you use the machine once every couple of weeks or even once a week, this is a worthwhile investment. And that's pretty much it. I will put all everything I used in the description, parts-wise. I know most of it's from around the world, straight from China for the wiring. Heat shrink was somewhere, I think, on the East Coast. The batteries came from Canada. And one other rule of thumb here, I got the batteries from a company up in Canada, Only Batteries, and if you look on their website, the cells were $2 something a piece, and that would bring us, if we'll round it down to 250, so it'll be 5, 10, 15. If you're going to be doing a lot of these, I would look on their eBay page as they sell 50 packs and 100 packs, and the price point is significantly different. You're basically looking at $1 a battery if you go that way instead of 2 something, or even worse, 3 something if you go get the small pack on their eBay page. You might be able to write the company and say, hey, I want a pack of 50 or 100 and get it directly from their website. Can you cut us a deal like you do on eBay? And the company itself is very responsive, although I haven't tried anything like that to try and get a sweetheart deal or anything. So if you're building these around the world, I say good luck. It's not a terrible repair. It's not a terrible thing to do. If you have the tools, it's you have that spot welder, that's half your battle right there. Most of that stuff I got on Amazon. I think the spot welder even came from Amazon, so. Yeah, so not too bad once you get in the swing of things. It does spark from time to time, so if you don't like sparks, you may struggle with this. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, comments, constructive criticism, I'm sure there's better ways to handle doing this, so you can roast me for that. As long as it's constructive, I will take your constructive criticism with a smile and a thank you, and give you a love symbol, or whatever YouTube calls that now. So, and last but not least, if this is too much work for you, or you don't have the patience, or you can't physically do this, I sell these for $15 a piece on eBay. That listing will be in the description as well. I will ship out. We're still trying to work out some kinks in the international shipping department. So fair warning to you there. The eBay global shipping program actually prohibits batteries from being shipped. Sometimes you can get them through, sometimes you can't. I'm trying to ship one to the Netherlands directly right now using USPS. They don't have restrictions on nickel cadmium, so it shouldn't be a problem. I did one through to Singapore, and that one was successful. So if the Netherlands one works, then I'm going to try another one for Ireland. If that works, then I think we got our international problem pretty much sorted. I want to help you guys, I really do. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, constructive criticism, leave them in the comments. And always thank you for watching another one of my long-winded repair videos.